Hi everyone, how you well, this is CoinsKid. Just going to dive into Bitcoin. Once again, thank you for your continued support across the channel. Sharing is caring. Really do appreciate everything you do towards the growth of CoinsKid here. It's amazing. The feedback, the comments, the likes, the membership in the Telegram group, the Patreon support, everything. It's all golden. I'm glad we're all on this train together, and I really do appreciate all the comments. Thank you very much. So diving into Bitcoin, as you can see, we've got a recovery on the go here, which is golden. We had this breakdown target because this is a rising wedge, okay, and these rising wedges, these have targets, and when you fall out of them, this was a target down here where you form the wedge around about 43k, sorry. But as we were going down, we was coming down to a really key area of support, and that was a daily time frame. Okay, on the daily time frame there's an EMA called the 100 EMA, and in a bull market it acts as a really key level of support. You can sort of come under it, okay, and come back above it, but it is a bit of a precursor to more of a bigger downtrend, and in this particular bull market we can't necessarily afford to lose it. Okay, it's really important that we don't lose this particular level right here, and you can see we wicked down and we were losing it, but then the bull stepped in and brought us back up, and we've got this beautiful daily candle here pumping us back up, taking us up towards these daily EMAs here, the 55 and the 20. Would like to see us get back above them, which would be golden for a true recovery, because the longer we stay under those on the daily, the more it's going to push us down. Like any time frame, the more you stay under them, it's just contributing to a downtrend and hitting a level of resistance and forcing you down basically. So that's basically the daily. In a minute, at the moment we're in a downtrend, still being held up by the 100 EMA. So do target that. If it starts to correct anymore, do target that as a potential buyback zone for Bitcoin, because look at that pump there, it's huge. That's a huge pump for Bitcoin. Since it's sort of lost itself down there and started to come back up, you're looking at like a 10% upside for Bitcoin over the past day. So jumping back to the 4-hourly time frame, then you can see that we were caught in this bear flag, broke down, target met, and we're caught in another bear flag, but then it broke up. It actually had something called a throwback where it started to come down, got supported by the bulls, come back in, and it's got a throwback basically where it's invalidated this pattern and it's gone to the upside. Like I said to you, always wait for the confirmation. That's why I always say to you. So particularly broke down, okay, yay, no, wait for that close, and you could see that it come back up into the pattern there, invalidating the breakdown, and it needed to, because if it didn't, you would have been looking at that massive push to the downside for Bitcoin. Something that I don't particularly like too much on the weekly at the moment. Obviously I'm always going to be transparent with you, okay, drop this 100 out at the moment, we don't need that. So I'm always going to be transparent with you. I've always said that, you know, if Bitcoin rolls over and consolidates, which is exactly what it's doing right now, you want to get a retest of this 20 EMA and it hold, because if you do start seeing it lose that, just I've outlined in so many videos, if it does lose that and starts coming up in its head on it, that is a big signal to sell and go to the beach, in my opinion, because any time that Bitcoin does that in a bull market, it's a precursor to more downside, because effectively what it does, you're getting trapped, you're hitting a level of resistance, and then you're going to start forming this, which is the bearish cross. That's a big tick, a big signal to sell and go to the beach, come back in the next bull market. Okay, so you've got that signal. That's your buy and go to the beach, sell and go to the beach, effectively from CoinsKid. So right now we are golden, we are rolling over, we are finding this level of support, and just like we anticipated in the Bitcoin video the other day, you're looking at A, B, C correction, okay, and I do think that will come for Bitcoin. So that's why I'm always going to be transparent with you. We are going through an ABC correction on that fourth wave pullback before that fifth wave, final wave of Elliott wave theory up to 200k Bitcoin. Okay, so far so good, it's all working out. So right now what I'm going to do is show you levels of support and resistance moving forward on the 4-hourly time frame, so you can do some in and out trading for Bitcoin. So it looks good, it looks golden, but you've always got to be aware of support and resistance, and that's what we do in this channel. We show you where they are, okay? So on the 4-hourly, you can see we've come back up, and if you'd have traded this yesterday, there was a target out of this particular ascending triangle right here, okay? So it has a breakout target, something like that, and you can see that when it broke out, boom, and it's met a target basically, and it's met that target, and it's now rolling over. It's hitting a level of resistance, and that resistance is this target. Well, what I'm going to do in a minute is bring up another key indicator to show you more levels of resistance, because right now we've tightened these EMAs. If you would have caught the video yesterday, I did say to you that when you do see these EMAs get overextended like that, it can work on the upside, it can work on the downside. For example, this is when it's going up and it's getting too far away from the EMAs. Well, I say to you, it rolls over and comes back and back to support, holds them, golden for continuation. So very similar situation in a downtrend as well. When you start to see a big gap, you do tend to see it sort of come back to itself to tighten up that gap. In this instance, on the 4-hourly time frame here, Bitcoin has actually come back up and it's got through the yellow line, which is a 20 EMA, and it's now above the 55 EMA on the 4 hourly time frame. That is really, really good, and you can see we're actually back testing its support. So if Bitcoin continues to do that, okay, and back test that as support, you're going to drag these EMAs up. You're going to start to form a tightening here, and you're potentially going to look at that bullish cross, okay, which is really good for more upside for Bitcoin, essentially bringing you back up to make this high, which we are anticipating, by the way, because this is, don't forget, on the wave 4 correction, this is what we're anticipating. We're anticipating this A wave correction, B wave coming up, making a lower high, and then a deeper C wave correction of the Elliott wave theory, wave 4, before continuation of that wave 5 to that 200k mark that we've outlined in our video a few days ago for Bitcoin. So that is, it's all basically working. So what we do need to see is continuation here for Bitcoin, and hopefully that this correction here that Bitcoin's just gone through is the A correction of the Elliott wave ABC correction. Do you see that? So A down, B come up, make a lower high, roll over again, do the C wave deeper, down, potentially down to the 55 EMA on the weekly time frame there, bounce off that, get back through the 20, march on to 200k. That's what I'm anticipating. I've not got a crystal ball, but that's just my analysis for Bitcoin. Okay, so in between all that, whilst that's gonna, because that's a long time frame, that's like over a few weeks to a month, okay, that's going to play out hopefully, but in all that, you have got opportunities here to trade Bitcoin. Obviously you got that breakout from that ascending triangle right there, and that target's been met, boom, so you've met that, you've run into a level of resistance. So right now what I'm going to do is bring up the Fibonacci, because what you've done, you've come down effectively, okay, you've come down from a top, you've bottomed out, and what you're doing now is you're forming a new impulsive wave. But on this impulsive wave, you are going to run into key levels of resistance right here. Okay, so that's your top and that's your bottom, and what you're doing, you're coming up, So what I'm going to do is get rid of these patterns just there so we can see exactly what's going on for Bitcoin. So what I'm going to do is, that is the bottom really, because that's a wick, okay? So you want to go to the bottom there, that's a solid bottom. So in my opinion, that's the top, okay? Obviously, you know, it's top, that's the all-time high for Bitcoin. And then what it's done is it's corrected. It's had this corrective wave down, and potentially now you're starting to form this new impulsive wave. Now, it will come up against key levels of resistance, and you can see that particular resistance right now is at 0.382, currently at 53.486. So as Bitcoin does march up, you will see it hit its head, okay, on key levels of resistance. Now, if Bitcoin is going to get the full retracement here and tackle that high, then this is a particular level that you may see it get through. If it starts to get rejected there, then I would anticipate that that's that B wave. Okay, that's that B wave correction, and then you'll start to come down and make that larger C wave. So potentially, I think that Bitcoin, not got a crystal ball, but you may see some form of consolidation, hit its head, potentially get through that eventually, come up and hit its head. But I do anticipate that is a bit of a top for Bitcoin on that B wave correction, A, B, C, okay, before that fifth wave up to 200k. That's just what I'm seeing. Not got a crystal ball, and nothing I say is factual or financial advice. It's just for education and entertainment purposes only. So in and out of all this chop for Bitcoin, you could actually execute some trades here, because if you do start to break above this 0.382, you could see a little bit of a push up here, an extra push up to this 55.491, where I would expect it to get rejected and start to roll back. So you could see another little push of around 3.61% here for Bitcoin. Now, failing that, if Bitcoin does start to fall back, do target these lower levels of the fib as support levels. So right now, Bitcoin could do this, okay, and fall back to that, where I would imagine it gets a level of support, because you can see as it's come back up, it's hit its head on that as resistance. So like I said to you, when you break resistance, you need to backtest it as support, and you can see it's not backtested it as support right now. It's just bolted through it. There's been no retest. So I want to anticipate, if you do start to see Bitcoin roll over here, do put some bids in down here, because I would imagine that it's going to bounce here, because I don't think we're going to go any deeper than this in this corrective wave. I think what we're doing, we're forming an impulsive wave, and it's going to get choppy, okay, over the next few days to a week or so. It'll get choppy, and potentially this is where our top is before we start to form that C wave correction. And that's basically Bitcoin. Bring up your fib from the bottom here to the top, and you're going to see a lot of chop in and out trading for Bitcoin. So I hope you enjoyed that update for Bitcoin, and yeah, I'll always keep you updated on Bitcoin, but that's basically what I'm seeing at the moment, okay? This in and out chop and that level of resistance right there. I do anticipate that if you do get through that golden ratio, okay, if you do get through that golden ratio at 57.572, then potentially, you know, you could be looking at the fifth wave starting already and taking us up and beating that high. So do anticipate that as well, because like I said to you, I've not got a crystal ball. It's just something that I'm targeting, and it's not always going to be true. Okay, because that's technical analysis for you 101. Okay, so right now you can see you're toying with this level right here, 0382. You're toying with it. The longer it hangs around here, by the way, the longer it hangs around and fails to get through it, the more probability you are going to see that fall back. And when it does fall back, do target that particular area there for a key level of resistance for Bitcoin. And I would imagine from there down to there, that's about a 4.3% short. But if you do see it come down there, you will see it bounce, and then you're looking at a nice 4.59% long opportunity there. And you could actually leave that long open, because I do anticipate that Bitcoin would actually come up to that golden ratio at some point, and you could just sit in that long there of 12% for Bitcoin. So far so good, looking healthy, and with that it carries the market. But like I said to you, I don't expect Bitcoin to go on from here and make any new all-time highs. I do expect it to run into a level of resistance, potentially the golden ratio, roll back and form that C wave of that A, B, C correction that we've got going on for Bitcoin. So that's it. Take care, everybody. Stay strong, stay healthy, and most importantly, stay tuned. And I'll catch you in another Bitcoin update soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.